Let's take a look. First clip that we see, and it's kind of the thing that you said he lets JOK be JOK. Take us through this one.
So you can see a crossing route here, and when it goes back to the middle here, he doesn't do the traditional drop steps that most linebackers do. So you're going to see most linebackers, when they drop into zone, they're going to open up their hip, they're going to have their head back to the quarterback. You're going to have a lot of defensive coordinators who tell you different things. But generally, there's kind of a rhyme or reason or a fundamental or a technique that most linebackers will do when they get into a drop. Not JOK. JOK takes hop steps, he reads, he sees what he wants, and then he reacts. And for Schwartz, you know, there's no difference because he's in there, he's where he should be, but he's playing really fast. And Schwartz did this. So the fundamentals aren't whatever, I don't say they're wrong. They're not what traditional people might want, but he sees what, pulls the trigger, sees it, and goes. And that's something that has really separated him this year. And then when he gets there, he always arrives at the ball angry. So this is a classic zone drop. He gets a crossing route, and he explodes up and makes a play.
All right, so that one in pass coverage. Let's take a look. Take us through this next clip, what you see and what you like in this one.
So this would be a process, you know, kind of everything you get with JOK and why he's been so successful. So he is going to read this double team by the left guard, left tackle. He's going to read this deuce on the 3 technique. And when he reads this deuce, he decides that he's going to explode. Now, some linebackers will take on that guard a little bit and kind of squeeze that hole. Well, that's not JOK. JOK is read what he sees, so he diagnoses, and then again, he pulls the trigger and it explodes through that A gap. And this is unteachable stuff. And this is why he was so successful. This is what Jim Schwartz has allowed him to do, is that when he sees it, he goes. And he also, you know, the defensive line has really improved. So this is a really good job by the defensive tackle in there. But again, JOK, unconventional at times, but, you know, explosive. And this is what he does very, very well.
So you see him there kind of reads the double team, gets through, gets the tackle for loss. Was one of the leaders in TFL in the entire NFL. This is another example of what you were talking about with just being an outstanding athlete.
So my dad, who was a football coach for 45 years, he always talked about his linebackers, the ability to get skinny, whether it's in a double team or in space. And this is, to me, this made me smile, made me think of my dad. JOK does an amazing job of getting skinny and not giving a lot of body surface or a lot of body area to block. And he constantly does this, whether he's in the gaps or on the edge. But you're going to see the tight ends actually have a good 83 sets, a good edge on him. They get into his chest, but he's just so slippery, and he's just instinctual. And then, of course, now you're adding this ability. He has game experience with that incredible intelligence he has. It's a scary guy, and you're seeing the kind of culmination of this. So, again, just splits this double team, gets skinny, and gets to the ball carrier.
Yeah, that Garrett Wilson, and that's another tackle for loss. The other thing, Jim Schwartz brought him on blitzes. Take us through this next clip, what you see here.
So I love him blitzing through A through C gap, but I'll tell you what, he is a complete menace on the outside here. So he's just going to use a long arm technique and just get into this tight end a little bit and use his speed. Again, doesn't have to overthink things. Very much Myles Garrett type, where he has a full range of skills, but his #1 skill is knowing what the guys are doing and then just being a freak athlete. You know, guys like JOK, Myles Garrett, there's guys in the league that are freak athletes amongst freak athletes. And JOK is one of those guys. So this is just a simple long arm technique. Comes on a blitz and makes a tackle against a very good athletic quarterback. So again, multiple things, very position flexible. Guy who had success because he could do so much.